Hello, 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 everyone. It's Brooke-Sidney here, celebrity ghostwriter, author, coach, and attorney. And today I'm jumping on because it is the beginning of February, and there's a couple of things that we always think about when we associate with February. First, Black History Month, woody woo, and the second is Valentine's Day, right? The month of love. And I feel like an ongoing love-hate relationship with love and all that it involves. But what it has done, I feel like with God's grace, mercy, and assistance, I've been able to use books, which you all know are my favorite friends, to help me become more loving, lovable, as well as be prepared to be in a loving relationship. And that's by healing. So today I wanted to have a fun live stream. And I wanted also to get your help. Hey, are there books out there that you have used that have helped you to heal and prepare for love? Because everyone's going to be talking about love. All you know is that you're going to start seeing all these people talk about preparing for Valentine's Day, and whether or not you're with your special someone, it's so good to feel like you are in the right place with your heart. And what I mean by that is that healing and love isn't linear. And for those of you that have been following me since my Queen's frequency teachings and even my self-love teachings, I've been saying this for a long time, that healing, especially heartbreak and trauma and wounds, it's not linear. Sometimes you'll discover something and then you'll rediscover it. You'll think you've healed it, and so forth. And with God's help, we're really able to move through it. I say God, who helps put the right psychologists, therapists, coaches in your life to help you heal, as well as my fellow book friends. And so I wanted to share today a couple of my favorite books that I feel are super helpful as we learn how to be more loving to ourselves and others, as well as healing any love wounds and being in better relationship, right? So the first book, and you guys share this live out, make sure you're subscribed to me. And as you all know, if you're interested in writing a book, I'm your girl. So I'm a celebrity ghostwriter, author, coach, and attorney, and I help people share their soul-led messages in books, right? To turn your testimonies into great stories and to turn your message into messages. So with that, I want to turn to some of the amazing books that have helped in my love journey. And I feel like have helped so many other people in their love journey. And it's a fun thing to discuss at the beginning of February as we prepare for this month of love. So first of all, it goes without saying, my Bible. Now, we all have Bibles. I recently got a new Bible, but the Bible that I would say has gotten me through everything is my Jesus Calling Bible, my devotional Bible that I love dearly. Y'all, it is racked, it is written up. It's crazy up in here. But they say that the quality of someone's life and how well they're doing by how well used their Bible is. And so I would be remiss to say that any book journey, because the Bible is my favorite book, and any love journey or healing journey involves God and the Holy Spirit. And so your Bible is your best kept resource for all things love, healing, relationships, modeling, blueprints, revelations, healing, therapy, all of that. So whether you get the Jesus Calling one, which is my absolute all-time favorite one of all times, it doesn't matter. Go there first. The second book that I wanted to share, and I feel like a lot of people know about this book. I feel that it's something that, a lot of people talk about. I think that it is something that people are often, now using this book's title and its teachings in their everyday kind of life. And that is, where did it go? Boundaries. It's our Boundaries book. So this particular Boundaries book is by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. And this particular edition is for dating. So This was the one that I started looking at the most, and I feel like has been instrumental in helping me understand more about boundaries. I think that the first boundary that I personally learned was all about being able to say no, right? Being able to say no. But that's not the only boundary. Boundaries can do with your, things that you personally will not tolerate, things that help you stay healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Boundaries in dating, like what you will and will not do, all of those good things. So I really, really encourage you to brush up on your boundaries, because it will truly help you navigate not just dating and love, but truly relationships. Because as long as we're living on this planet, our life is full of relationships with our kids, with our coworkers, with our employees, with future clients. It's all about relationships, and all of them demand boundaries. Even just recently, I had to elicit a new boundary with a contract that I'm working on. So definitely this one will go a long way. So definitely check out boundaries. And I'll have links to all of these below when I complete this live. So again, make sure you're following me. And for those of you that don't know, I have a writers group called Soul Story Writers right here. So for those of you that are interested in creating your own book, then I'm going to encourage you, okay? I'm going to encourage you to jump into that particular Facebook writing group. It is free right now, and it will totally help you get all of your ideas together for writing a book. So I love talking things, all things book. The other one that I think a lot of people have heard of, I'm doing the popular ones in the beginning. So you have to stay all the way to the end to find out the ones that are a little bit less popular or a little bit less known. I'm sure all of you have heard of the love languages, the 5 love languages, right? I'm sure you all heard of that. And so I wanted to definitely talk about the 5 love languages. For those of you that have, I think I even created a while ago, a self-love ebook based on understanding your love language and how that helps you in your life, how it helps you develop. So I will also link that below. I forgot that I had developed that. Gosh, it was years ago. But the 5 love languages, this one is the singles edition, but there's also the regular edition. And we all know that there are 5 basic love languages. Now, what's really cool right now is that all across the internet, we're seeing memes on all these new love languages. One of which was like, bringing me coffee. That's a love language. Supporting me in my dreams. Those are love languages. Of course, the internet has no chill. It will continue to create more and more love languages. But the 5 basic ones, once we are equipped with those, it really can empower us in understanding ourselves first, how God created us, which is so important to understand, especially when you're finding that you're kind of missing each other, like in all your relationships. And so it's really important to understand that. And when you do get into a relationship with someone that you really love and you want to make sure they feel loved, understanding the love languages and knowing their love language helps you to show love in a way that they're used to receiving it and can receive it. And often the way that we give love is the way that we show love, not necessarily what the other person needs. That was a powerful lesson. And I think going beneath the surface, what the book does, because there's a quiz online, so make sure you check that out. There's a quiz online. If you don't know your maybe top 2 love languages, you can get with that. You can check them out. But I encourage you to go a little deeper. I actually encourage people to get the book. And for those of you that are still on this kind of self-love, loving kind of journey, this is a book to dive into. Because once you understand kind of how you process love or you're used to receiving love, it just opens your eyes to having better relationships, first with yourself and then with others. So I definitely encourage you to grab the love. Believe it or not, a church I was attending outside the San Francisco area, they were giving out the love languages books based on if you were married or single for Christmas one year. So that's how important that book is. Okay. Now, the next book is, I don't think a lot of people talk about that, but it is one of my personal favorites. And I think it was pivotal for me after I went through my divorce. And it is called Heart Made Whole, and it's by Krista Black Gifford. And I mean, she healed from so many things, like a baby dying in her arms. And she really talks about the things that happen in our life that, you know, hurt our heart to the core and how we can truly heal from that. And so much of us, or so many of us, I should say, we try to go through therapy, we hire coaches, we do all the things. And I found for me, those things were great. I'm a big proponent of therapy. I'm a big proponent of coaches. I have done it all. But honestly, my relationship with God and the Holy Spirit was the greatest healer. And so I always want to share that. It's gotten me through so much and so many times. But the Heart Made Whole, I feel like it was the first book that really broke down the relationship between God and healing. And yeah, just uncovering our truth and our making ourselves whole. And making ourselves whole, especially as a human being on this planet, involves being emotionally whole, spiritually whole, and our heart and our soul is where that resides. And so this is an excellent book. I feel like it's not, the forewords by Lisa Bevere. It's just a really great book. It's very easy to read, and I will honestly say it is not as well known, but definitely deserving of more recognition. My second to last book that I want to talk about, a lot of people, they may have heard of this, and this one's specifically for women, because I know most of these books that I've been talking about can apply to both women and men. They're not specific right now to just women. This particular book is specific to women. It is T.D. Jakes' Women Thou Art Loose, Healing the Wounds of the Past. I really enjoyed this book. It was hard to read, I will say that, because Bishop Jakes pulls no punches. He's getting in there. He is telling you all the things. He's talking about it. But he's also sharing his own stories. And I feel like as a man being able to relate to women, you know, obviously he has daughters and a wife. He is at a special place, and obviously God has equipped him. But I do think, you know, this is a really great book to help you heal any wounds that you might have, and to do it in a godly way and with God's help. And this book simply serves as a guide. I mean, our ultimate guide is God himself. But I think that this book is an amazing resource as we prepare for this love season, as we want to become more healthy in a loving way, as we want to be true to some of the things that have hurt us in the past. So I would definitely recommend this book, Women Thou Art Loose by Bishop T.D. Jakes. And I mean, I could talk for days on all the magnificent books that he has, as well as his daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts. I love her. But anyway, I would definitely encourage you to check this out. And my last book for today, I love sharing my favorites that have been helpful. And I feel like as writers and authors, one of the best ways that we can become better writers and authors is to read great books. The last book is for the people that have a heart to getting married. So you don't have to be married to read this book, but it does give you a good idea about the particular purpose of marriage, especially in a day and age where a lot of generations are starting to throw away marriage and not see the point of marriage. And that book is, drum roll please, Timothy Keller's The Meaning of Marriage. The Meaning of Marriage. This book is a lot. I'm going to tell you right now, this book is a lot. But I think one of the great things about the book, hello, focus. One of the great things about the book is it starts to dispel, I feel like, the myths around marriage, which usually have to do with this wedding and this engagement, all the pomp circumstance, all of the money being spent, the honeymoon, all of those things. That's actually wasn't God's design for marriage. And so I think it's really interesting when we start understanding what is the purpose of something. What does it actually mean? What are we called to do in our marriage? Why are we even being called to get married? How are we supposed to be as a wife? How are we supposed to be as a husband? And so forth. And the biggest aha that I had with this particular book was that the meaning of marriage is God's intention to grow us. It is one of the main ways and main vehicles that God uses us to show God's love and for us to grow into the type of individual that is able to give godly like love, agape love. Yeah, and most people are not thinking that. We are truthfully in marriages and in relationships for what the person can do for us, right? How can they serve us versus this shows us how we can serve them and serve God through our marriage, through our love, through giving more. And so I just wanted to come on today and open up my bookshelf and share some of my favorites as we have entered into the month of love, and to talk about some of the powerful books that have helped shape conversations for me, have helped provide context that God I know is speaking through, and has helped me become more comfortable in the topics around love, loving relationships, healing, wounds, boundaries, marriage, all of these things that you're going to see tossed around in your social media, especially this month of February. So buckle up, get ready. And I just gave you several books, the Bible being one, that can help you not only prepare yourself for this season, but enjoy it and take what you're seeing and be able to process it through a lens of godly love and through measuring not all this outward stuff, the gifts, the Valentine's Day, the stuff, the woo-de-woo. Instead, you'll be able to find the value in love and be able to really discern what's really real. So with that, I'm going to encourage you, one, to make sure you're subscribed. So, click the follow, the like button. Number two, check out the resources below. Go deep with it. This is not the time to be surface, right? The hardest thing in life is to actually think, and most of us don't do it. And so I'm going to encourage you, as one of my favorite mentors said that, I'm going to encourage you to think on this, to pray on this, to meditate on this. Find some book this month that can strengthen you in your love relationship with yourself, with God, and with others. That is my encouragement for you this February. And for those of you that know you're interested in writing a book, jump into my Soul Writers group. And if you're ready right now, schedule your book chat. And with that, I'll see you next time.